thing about me is that I have a very simple philosophy to my life, and that's to take the path of least resistance. Now, I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of work that goes into taking the path of least resistance. There's a lot of thinking that goes into this. You have to stop and think, what are the important things in life? What are things that actually matter? To me, it's money, it's back shots, and it's muscles. Without these three things, your life is gonna suck. Now, when I'm talking about muscles, I'm referring to your physical appearance. How do you look with no clothes on? Or how do you look with clothes on? How do t-shirts fit on you? Can you walk around with a tight-fitting black t-shirt? If you can't, you got yourself a problem. Your physical appearance is everything. Without your physical appearance, you don't have any confidence. If you're walking all fat and disgusting, everybody's judging you. Everybody talks about you behind your back because you're fat. In the summertime, you're sweating profusely. You're disgusting. There's a weird smell in the office. Everybody blames you for it. Your physical appearance comes before anything. Before money, before your job, before your family. So much of your success and so much of your failures are going to come based on your physical appearance. You better be obsessed over this stuff. Oh, you think this is a game? Oh, you think your physical appearance is a game? Yeah, I'll stop being a fat ass starting next week. Next week I'll sign up. You should have started yesterday, fatso. Look at the shape of you. You're a beached whale. What are you waiting for exactly? You're taking the path of maximum resistance just because you decided to be fat and not care about it. Next up, it's the back shots. Back shots, guys have to have sex. Guys have to bust nuts. If guys aren't busting, there is a serious problem. And by the way, if you're not having sex on the regular, the problem isn't anybody else. The problem is you. You're the problem. Yeah, because all these guys, all these black pillars like to blame everybody else for their problems or their inadequacies. Maybe it's you. You're too ugly. You're too fat. Maybe you have too many pimples. Your hairline's all up. And then on top of that, you walk around with this weird, quirky guy persona. You're the weird guy. Yesterday, we talked about Sam. Sam is a passive Asian guy, and Sam's ugly. And Sam said, you know what? I've never been on a date. Girls have never shown any interest in me because look at the condition of me. Got a bunch of acne. Look at my hairline. Let's not improve our appearance at all. That's not important at all. Let's go ahead and approach 100 girls and ask them all out on a date. And I'll be the quirky guy. Surely they'll love me for being the quirky guy. Bro, you're ugly. You're ugly. It's not going to work. Take 5 years to Looksmaxxing and focus on your career. Get rich. You're Chinese. While you're in school, focus on school. You're Chinese. Get good grades. You're Chinese. Then get a high-paying job. You're Chinese. And instead of focusing on girls all those years in school, why don't you focus on getting ripped? On getting shredded, on fixing your skin, and getting nice Chinese guy hairstyles. But no, instead he's going to waste his time approaching 100 random girls that are all going to deny him the back shots. This guy Sam we talked about yesterday is setting himself up to have the path of maximum resistance in life. There won't be any back shots for this guy in his future if he continues down this path. Now, if you're a guy that followed my instructions and you look smaxed, you look to the best of your abilities, you can't get, of course there's always improvements, but this is basically your peak right now. Your body's on point, your diet is on point, your skin is clear, your teeth are straight, you smell good, you dress nice. Now we're free to have the path of least resistance when it comes to handing out the back shots, which is very important. Now, if you want to take even least resistance, follow my way and start getting with the fat girls. The fat girls will always tell you yes. The fat girls will never fight back. The fat girls are always available. The fat girls would buy you a car. There is a fat woman right now walking around this planet that has offered to help me pay off my used Mercedes that I got from a hood rat dealership. This is what you call taking the path of least resistance. That's another stress I don't have to worry about. Oh my God, how am I going to pay my monthly payments on my car? Oh man, I can't buy this. I can't buy new sneakers because I got to worry. I got to pay insurance and I got to pay the car payment. Oh man, why is there so much resistance? I got fat girls that are there for me. 70% of guys are fat, disgusting losers in America. Look up the stats. I'm not making these numbers up. So you better make it a priority to be better than 70% of guys. And once you become better than 70% of guys out there, all of a sudden you notice there's so many good things happening to you when it comes to women. You got fat girls calling you over to their house. Come over, I need back shots. You got fat girls paying your car insurance. You got a fat, ugly girl that buys you a fresh pair of Air Force Ones once a month. You don't have to worry about anything in life anymore. This is what you call taking the path of least resistance. This only happens if you self-improve on yourself. And I'm going to give you the perfect example. I want you to meet Lee. Lee was a fat, disgusting individual at a certain point in his life, but he decided, you know what? It's time for me to start Looksmaxxing. And I want you to pay close attention to Lee's story, because this is exactly why I live the way that I live.
Actually admitting that they didn't marry for love. Now, in Lee's case, he says that he married Michelle because she could provide him with 2 fancy new cars, a motorcycle, and a whole lot more. Michelle's backstage in her isolation booth. Now, Lee, you say you got Michelle by charming her. How'd you do that?
Well, it started, I weighed about 300 pounds when I lost it and I was having trouble. I would have to be the one that did all the charming for the, I would try to charm the women and buy things for them and all that. And then I lost the weight and I learned how to charm the women, I guess you could say. I learned how to do the reverse role on them. I learned how to charm them, I guess you could say.
So instead of you giving to them, they're giving to you?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to notice, Lee's still ugly. You see, this is why I don't like the black pill. Lee is still ugly, but Lee is 10 times more better looking than he used to be. I mean, I look at the before picture of Lee, and I would think to myself, it's over for this guy. This guy has no future. Look at him. Look at the condition of this guy's a beach whale. And so if I had the black pill mindset, I'll say, well, you know what? It's just over. It's just over for me. I'm not going to do anything about it. This is just my reality. But Lee is the perfect example of the guy that was living his life on maximum resistance, lost the weight, looks max to the best of his ability, and now lives the life of least resistance. You see, Lee got with Michelle. Michelle is a sub-5 female. Let's just be real. She's unattractive. But Michelle's very successful. Michelle's a registered nurse. She makes a lot of money every year. And since Lee looks way better than Michelle. Michelle said, this is the man of my dreams. I'm going to go ahead and marry him. And not only just that, I'm going to spoil him with all the gifts he's ever wanted. Michelle went on and got him legendary cars from the 90s. She got him a white 300Z. If you had one of these cars back in the 90s, you were him. Lee was just simply him back in the 90s. He got Michelle to get him a white 300Z. I mean, this is basically a drug dealer car. Then Michelle was forced to go to the dealership and get him a brand new Corvette. Of course, that wasn't enough, so then Michelle had to go to the motorcycle dealership and get him a brand new sports bike. That wasn't enough either. Then she had to go get him a pickup truck, a Toyota pickup truck.
Oh, boy. All right, well, are you ready to tell your wife the real reason why you married her?
Sure.
All right, let's take her out of isolation. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for being here. You know you're here today to talk about your relationship, and Lee has something he wants to tell you about your relationship. Mm-hmm. Lee?
Well, the big reason, the main reason, probably the only reason I think that we've gotten together and married in the whole 9 yards is for the materialistic things that came out of the relationship, I think. I don't think if the money wasn't there, I wouldn't be there.
Michelle, did you know that he felt this way?
Well, I knew he liked to spend money. I mean, I could tell he liked materialistic things. I mean, but I thought it was...
You thought it was what?
More me. I thought he loved me, my personality.
It's her. I like her personality. We get along great. We don't argue. I treat her well. She cannot say I do not. I respect her, But, I also like the Corvette and the 300s and all the other good fun things that came with it.
So if she didn't have that, you never would have wasted your time?
Nah.
Oh my God, this is brutal. This is brutal. But let's be honest, this is the reality for a lot of men out there. This only seems brutal because she's a female and it's being done to her. But a lot of guys, this is the only way they get to keep a girl.
I don't know how to react.
I mean, do you want to continue to stay married to her?
Yeah.
But do you want to still keep staying married? Of course. Who the hell's going to pay for my 300Z? Who's going to pay for my Corvette? Not me. I'm not getting a job. Of course we're going to stay married. Are you stupid or what? And by the way, you can afford to act like an asshole just like this, and nothing's going to happen. The women are not going to go anywhere. Trust me, believe me, the women are not going anywhere because they can't do any better. Believe me, when you're better than 70% of guys, it's difficult to find somebody better than you. It's almost impossible. You want proof? Well, let's ask Michelle what she thinks about this.
Oh, here we go.
But how? Okay. All right. I'm a viewer just like you guys. How can you possibly expect her to stay married to you after you just told her, I don't love you, I never loved you, I only wanted you for your car that you would buy me?
No, the relationship's grown stronger over the years. And it's ain't like we've done it in the last, it ain't like we married last year and it's just kind of grown. It's stronger than it was when we first met. That was 100% it then.
But how can you expect it to grow from this day forward? Michelle, do you want to stay married to him?
I love him. I don't know. I know.
Well, folks, there you have it. Lee Looksmaxxed. Lee found himself a sub-5 female with a lot of money. Lee publicly humiliated her on national TV in front of everybody. Millions of people are going to watch this. They ask her, hey, do you want to leave this guy now? He's a jerk, isn't he? You want to leave him? She replies, no, I still love him. I'm still staying with him. I don't care. And matter of fact, I'm going to buy him a new Corvette just because of this. This is what happens when you look after your appearance. All of a sudden, you're allowed to give a lot of more backshots to a lot of different women. These women fall in love. Life becomes easier. And so because you Looksmaxx, and so because you're giving out women backshots and making them fall in love with you, then comes the third most important thing, money. But I want you to notice something. Money was the last thing on the list. Why is that? Because you can be a guy with money and you're still going to be a loser and still not get anywhere with women. If you're a guy that's ugly, that has a lot of money, your life is going to be difficult with these women. You're going to find that your life is filled with resistance. Of course, if you're successful and have money, you think everybody else is a loser. Doesn't matter how they look. You just automatically assume they're just a loser. They're not successful like me. So how is it that the unsuccessful loser's taking all these women away from me? You worked hard. You opened up your business. You made millions of dollars. You get no backshots. But then you get a loser like Lee. He just lost some weight. He Looksmaxxed. Well-groomed, dresses nice, has cowboy boots. That allows him to get sub-5 females with a lot of money. And all of a sudden, he's driving around a brand new Corvette and a brand new 300Z. Life can be very easy. There's no need to add all this extra stress to your life. Put in the work to take the path of least resistance.